Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. This is wonderful. My name is Michael Smith. I'm the National Consumer Education Manager of Janome Canada, and yes, I'm here from my Janome good classroom here at the Janome Sewing and Learning Centre in Oakville, Ontario, for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. Now, I am so excited to share this machine. I'm excited by all of them, of course, but wow, when I saw this one, I'm like, I have to have it. Lovely. So, what is the machine today? Let's turn around. Oh, yes, for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. Celine, perfect timing. The machine for our fabulous Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. I gotta pull way back. You'll see how big and gorgeous this is. Look at that. It is the fabulous Janome HD-9 BE, standing for Black Edition. So this HD-9, which I demoed last year sometime, or for Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour, the regular HD-9 that I've already demoed, but look what we just got. This beautiful, isn't that a sexy machine? A very beautiful HD-9 BE Black Edition. It is so gorgeous. Now, Janome does have a couple of these black machines that I think is a great homage, a great nod to, machines when they, first were all coming out over 100 years ago, were all black metal. And then they switched over eventually to, white plastic. The insides are still metal, but the outer coating was white plastic. It was brighter. It was lighter weight. But I love this, again, homage to those more original machines with the black. So we've got the HD 1000 that's available in white, but also available in black. And then we've got the HD 3000 that's available in white and available in black. And we've got this gorgeous now HD 9 BE Black Edition. So especially what I love about, if you can see real close, it's like this gunmetal finish. Now the HD9, we're talking solid metal everywhere. Not only, again, metal on the inside, all of our Janome machines, regardless of what model, they all start out with the cast aluminum base. And then all the, again, pretty pieces are added to it. But this HD9, all of this is metal. It is so gorgeous. But yes, it's got like this beautiful, like gunmetal finish in black. And then even things like, we've got the reverse lever here. And then we've got, some special bonuses like this gorgeous black extension table. This extension table did not come with the white edition of the HD9, but the black edition, it comes with this gorgeous extension table. So it is fabulous. Now, HD, of course, stands for heavy duty. So we can do pretty much anything on this machine. If you are looking for, again, a garment sewer, absolutely even your lightweight, beautiful chiffons and your quilting cottons, if you're a quilter, or again, if you're into the tote bag making with leather and vinyl, or you're looking to doing like some upholstery projects and you're looking for like that heavy duty like boat canvas and barbecue covers, this machine will do it all. It's fabulous. So let's get right into it, because again, time will go by so fast. So the beautiful HD9 BE. So the machine itself is the same as the white edition of the HD9. Again, very heavy duty. So here's like our reverse button, our automatic scissor button. So that'll cut the threads for us. That's wonderful. We do have a speed control. Now this machine goes up to 1600 stitches per minute. So this is the fastest machine, domestic machine in the Janome line. The only machines faster in the Janome line are going to be our long arm machines. So we've got the HD9 is, again, 1600 stitches per minute. And although it definitely looks very industrial, Just a reminder, Janome machines are for domestic use. They are not industrial machines, but this is definitely, again, that homage or that nod to industrial-like machines. Partly because all metal construction here. Again, we've got 9 inches in the throat space and very tall up here too. So again, if you've got quilting, tote bags, barbecue covers, you've got lots of room for your projects to grow here. Beautiful LED lighting across here. So that is great. Ooh, let's get close up to have, here's for our little bobbin winder. So we can wind a bobbin without unthreading our needle, so that's wonderful. Needle up, down, of course. And then our various tensions here. Now, the cool thing about the HD9 is that it is for, again, that heavy-duty sewing. So right now, I just have it threaded for regular sewing, regular thread, you know, regular fabrics. But there's graphics here on the front of the machine that there's this special tension control here and different threading guides here that we could thread for that heavier thread if we're using like a heavier nylon thread making barbecue covers, or again for upholstery, that again we've got that special threading for heavy duty threads, and there's like the little guides here on your machine to help you. But of course there's a instruction manual with full instructions about threading the machine, winding the bobbin, all the maintenance. But specifically, if we are going to thread and sew, thread and sew leather, heavyweight fabrics, they show you the diagrams here with that special threading guides and the tensions. They give you tips there. Or if you are sewing regular lightweight fabrics and, you know, lightweight threads, regular threads. Again, there's all the information here with threading tips and everything. So your manual goes through everything. And, you know, Janome being so thorough, they even have, oh, look at this, even a little guide on how to adjust the little legs that are in the bottom of your extension table. So it'll keep it nice and flat, and even about how to thread your bobbin here, how to insert your bobbin with the extension table. Like, again, Janome tries to think of everything. So, yes. I have the HD9. I bought it last year after I saw your videos, and it was the best decision I ever made. Well, there, if you don't believe me, then believe that testimonial. That is wonderful. Thank you for the feedback. I agree. When I saw the HD9 at a show, I was working with one of our dealers, and they had the HD9 in their booth. And I went, ooh, look at that machine, and saw the speed and the strength, and went, sold, and I actually bought one myself. Now, why I love using the HD9, again, for all those heavier projects, I made a bunch of vinyl shaving bags, but here, my jeans, I've worn these many times on Instagram. They've become my Instagram jeans, where they have all the patches that I've embroidered. These are free embroideries. This little truck here is a free embroidery on our Janome.ca site. And then this is some of our embroidery couching designs, but instead of couching with yarn, I just sewed it with that Madeira metallic thread. But with these denim patches on my denim jeans, and I've used the heavier, it's a 30 weight thread, heavier thread I used in my HD9. And again, it's like a hot knife through butter. So, any kind of sewing you want to do, this HD9 will do it for you. So yes, what's included with the machine? Well, we do have a knee lifter with that beautiful accent of black, so that's great. So the knee lifter will raise your presser foot. If you insert it, then there's a little slot in the machine, and every time you put your knee against the knee lifter, it will raise the presser foot. And then to drop it, you just reduce the pressure on it. So this will help you raise and lower your presser foot. You know, these knee lifters were adapted from, again, the garment industry. They were adapted from industrial machines. This is how they do it because, again, they save time as money. So then instead of taking your hands off your project, you can just raise your presser foot that way. Now, the machine does come with, and there's instructions in the manual, this little vial of oil, so you will oil and maintain your machine in between taking it to your Janome dealer for its usual service. Did you know, once that little vial of oil is done, did you know that Janome has their own good quality sewing machine oil? And I love it because it's got that telescoping little spout, so you can get the oil exactly where you want it. So that is available from your Janome dealer when you're finished the oil there. Now, included, these typically come on our, these cone adapters typically come on our Surgers or our Cover Pro machines, but you will see on my beautiful HD-9 BE here, we've got the vertical spool pins. There's 2 on the back of the machine, so again, that we can wind a bobbin without unthreading the needle. And it's got this big telescoping thread stand here for that high speed optimum thread delivery, again, just like the industrial machines in the garment industry. But again, these machines are ideally for home use. But look, this giant spool of the Madeira Aero quilt. Now, this is the thread I use on the long arms here, the Quiltmaker Pro 18, Quiltmaker Pro 16, Quiltmaker Pro 18 Versa, Quiltmaker Pro 20. They all have these vertical spool pins with the telescoping thread stand. So I use this big cone of Madeira Aero quilt on the long arms. I love it. It's polyester thread, but looks like cotton, very low lint, and I get little to no breakage on this thread. So this is why I love using it. And I love using it with the HD-9 when I'm doing, again, quilting or garment sewing. We can use the big cones of thread, but also, I've got a little spool of the Madeira Poly on there, and you can see there I have that little cone adapter to prop up my little spool. And then I have the spool cap on it, so then it doesn't get, the thread doesn't get wrapped around the spool pin. So I love using this cone adapter, and I put, again, little spools of thread on top of it, so I don't have to worry about the thread wrapping around the spool pin. But that's why you also use your included spool cap to avoid that. But also included is this thread net. So if you've got some of that delicate thread, it's black on black. If you've got some of that delicate thread, even metallic threads, I like using this thread net, so that way the thread doesn't pool around the spool, it just comes up the top like that. So this thread net is included. You can also get these in a separate blister pack from your Janome dealer. Same with these cone adapters. You can get these separately as well. So that's included. Your spool cap, same thing. You can get those separately. Our tools, of course, the screwdriver and the little brush, those are included, I think, with all Janome machines. Things like, these HL ×5 needles. Last week on Ask Janome HQ, I talked about needles, and I did not touch on these HL ×5 needles, but these are included with your machine, and of course you can get more from your Janome dealer. HL is a very long German word, basically meaning that the needle is longer. It is slightly longer than our typical Janome needles for your other machines. The HL needles, again, it's a little bit longer because of the hook here in the machine. So we definitely want to use these HL ×5. The ×5 is that they're very heavy duty needles to, again, accommodate that high speed. We're talking 1600 stitches per minute. So these are still flat backed. Maybe you can see that. They're still flat backed needles. So they're still household sewing needles, but they're not the regular HA needles that most other sewing machine needles are. For household use, these are HL. So we've got to make sure, if you've got an HD-9, that to get those HL ×5, again, they're very heavy duty needles to stand up to all those heavy duty layers and mainly the high speed of 1600 stitches per minute. Now included, again, this cloth guide. I absolutely love it. It is available separately, but I absolutely love this cloth guide because we've got holes here in our needle plate, and we can simply just screw that in, and there we've got this beautiful adjustable cloth guide if we want 1/4 of an inch, or if we want, again, 1/2 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch if we're a garment sewer and we're sewing garment patterns, again, 5/8 of an inch, and then we tighten this down. So this I absolutely love. When we're doing our piecing for 1/4 of an inch, butt it up against your presser foot, which is that perfect 1/4 of an inch, and then just tighten it down, so then you've got a perfectly straight guide for your 1/4 inch piecing. So again, very versatile machine. The cloth guide, again, so perfect. It's, again, been around forever. I always say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So it does come separately as well, but is included with your HD-9 BE and the regular HD-9. This is what your accessories come in as well, this cute little case here. This beautiful D, this is the D foot, is the rolled hem foot. Now you'll see the unique thing about the HD-9 machines, that heavy duty straight stitch machine, is that the ankle, the foot holder, and the foot are integrated. They're not separate. The HD-9 does not have the traditional snap-on feet. The ankle here is attached to the foot. And again, this is just like the machines in the garment industry. They don't change out their feet. They instead change out a machine that has an entirely different foot on it. So this is, again, by having them integrated like this, it's much like the HP foot is for the other machines, where they're integrated. Again, there's no movement in this foot. So the results are very accurate in, again, that 1600 stitches per minute. When, again, I said garment sewers will love this machine as well. Look at this beautiful, chiffon and organdy, any kind of sheer fabrics. There's that blind hem. Look how gorgeous that is. Now, I've demonstrated the blind hem foot is the D episode of the A to Z with Janome series on the Janome HQ YouTube channel. So you can go back to review that on how to do this this rolled hem on the, the D foot is the rolled hem foot. I hope I didn't say blind hem. Is rolled hem foot on the A to Z with Janome episode. So again, how beautiful that is. So again, very delicate fabrics. Again, chiffon, organdy, if you want to hem, sheer curtains. So that's great. So that is also included. Now your bobbins, look at these big, beautiful metal bobbins. Now last week on Ask Janome HQ, I also talked about bobbins. And I said the metal bobbins we only want to use in the vertical or oscillating hooks, like we have on our long arms and like we have here on our HD-9. It has a vertical hook and a separate bobbin case, metal bobbin case, so we can use these metal bobbins there. Our traditional rotary hooks that lay in regular sewing machines, no, we do not want to use metal bobbins. We just want to use our plastic Janome J bobbins. This HD-9 metal bobbin, you'll see, here is my regular Janome bobbin. The HD-9 bobbins are 1.4 times bigger than the regular Janome J bobbin. So again, being very industrial-like, we can wind more thread on these bobbins, so we're not going to change our thread as much. So that's great. Now these are our big M-class bobbins that come with our Quiltmaker Pro long arm machines. The HD-9 bobbins are not quite as big. The M-class bobbins are still bigger, but you can see, wow, that's getting pretty close there. So these HD-9 bobbins are, again, 1.4 times bigger. So they're nice and lots of room to wind on your threads. So they come included, and again, of course, you can get more from your Janome dealer. Now, again, one of its big claim to fame, in addition to this gorgeous black finish, but here this huge extension table, and then here they even have this cute little trap door I thought was adorable. So you can go down here and open the little trap door here and take this off. There is a separate bobbin in there in a metal bobbin case. So again, you don't have to worry about taking your table out, your machine out of the table. You can just easily open the compartments there and get it. Now, included also, you get this giant extra large foot pedal, but you know, it's not quite the same as the other machines. This is how the foot pedal plugs into all the other machines, but with your HD9, the control for your foot, or the power cord for your foot, is different. It's actually got 3 pins that come into the machine. So it's the same big extra large foot pedal, but it attaches differently to your machine. The same with the power cord here. It's actually a little different than the regular power cords to the machine. So all the accessories and the extra tools, you know, for the machine, they're pretty machine specific. So you must have like that same foot pedal for the HD9, and you've got that separate power cord. Now, something that you can get for your HD9 that some of the other machines have is this big metal plate as an optional accessory, which your foot pedal will clip into, and then you can get this cute little accessory. This is a remote thread cutter. So this can mount onto the plate like that, and that way, again, saving time, you don't have to then reach up and touch the scissor button. You can instead take your foot off the gas and click here, and that will cut your threads remotely. Again, this is an optional accessory available from your Janome dealer, but yes, this remote thread cutter, then you don't even have to take your hands off your project to use the scissor button here. Instead, there's a little port right here that instead you plug in that remote thread cutter right there. So that makes it even more time saving, more efficient. So there's so many cool accessories available as well for your HD9 and HD9 BE. So double check with your Janome dealer. So yes, let's get into some stitching. So we can adjust the stitch length here with this dial. So right now I have it on 3. Generally when I'm going to sew through thicker layers, I do lengthen the stitch so it does feed very well. So when we talk about, oh yes, heavy duty, so here we go. I've got some denim, 2 layers of denim here, and it just glides through. It is like amazing. Now, boom, like it's just so quick and easy. I'll put this back a little more. And then, okay, I'm gonna do my top stitching. Now this is where, again, if we had that knee lifter, then we wouldn't have to reach up here to manually raise the presser foot. We could use the knee lifter. Now we do have the side cutter at the side of the machine here. From front to back is a thread cutter, but also, again, did you know that from front to back, oops, I had that thread, from front to back is a thread holder. So you can hold your threads up there and they're not going to, you know, get pushed down into the bobbin area when you start a new seam. But again, look at that. Is my beautiful top stitching. Like it just sews through layer after layer after layer. Let's see, there's 2, 4, 6. I've got 6 layers here. It just glides through like butter. Now, boom, there's my 6 layers done, no problem whatsoever. Now, when you're getting into your thicker layers, and even though this machine has a very heavy-duty motor, I always recommend, using this button shank plate when you are starting. If I'm going to start my seam here, that presser foot's going to be up on an angle. So even a heavy-duty machine like this can benefit from using this button shank plate to keep your presser foot level as you're about to start on this big thick layer. And then conversely, when you're coming off of it, then you would just put it here to the other end as you're coming down that mountain, and then it will simply just remove it. So the button shank plate comes available in a separate blister pack, so you can get this from your Janome dealer. Great for sewing on buttons by machine. Not with this HD-9 BE. You cannot sew buttons on with this. This is a straight stitch only machine, so typically you'd use a zigzag to sew on a button. But this button shank plate, you can use it for other purposes, like, again, when you're sewing those heavy-duty layers. Oh, and I wanted to mention, too, here, always next to my machine, I have my Janome bobbin saver. And typically, again, there's for our plastic bobbins, but the bigger HD9 bobbins, oh, they fit in beautifully to this Janome bobbin saver. So you can use the Janome bobbin saver for your bigger bobbins as well, for your HD9. So that is great. You'll see I also have my Janome Pin Pal. I go everywhere with this. I take this home with me and have it next to my machines at home. And then when I come back to the office, I bring it. Again, great for your pins, great for your tools. So you can always keep track of your screwdrivers. And, you know, for you Elna fans, we even have an Elna version of the Pin Pal. So again, check with your dealers to get those. They're very handy. So yes, let's get on as usual. Time is going by so fast. So that is the power of it. Now here is a big long strip. And again, I said for quilters will love this in addition to garment sewers. Now this, I'm going to do my regular piecing. So I don't need that longer stitch. So I can go up bigger, all the way up to 6 is like a basting stitch, and then I will go down to about a 2 when I'm doing my piecing here. You could go down a little more narrow if you wish. Now here, again, piecers will love this. Now I could attach my cloth guide as well to help me keep that perfect 1/4 of an inch. The foot is nice and narrow. Again, just like those industrial feet. And away I go. Like I'm holding my strip way back here. There's no pins or anything. I'm just matching up my strip as I go. And this is how we can do piecing. Super fast, super efficient. This is like garment production. They don't use pins either. So when I studied fashion many, many years ago in college, we learned basically to sew without pins. And we did much of our sewing like this, where it's like high speed production. You can do yards and yards and yards, and it's beautifully, and again, super, super fast. So I'll take my screwdriver here and we'll show you that, oh yes, we have, now that's what's included in the machine, but ooh, we have some very cool accessory feet available. Of course, Janome is all about giving you options. So we have an Ultra Glide foot. Now we do have the Ultra Glide foot snap-on for all the other machines, but this one specifically says for the DB hook models. So you know that's going to be for your high speed, again, straight stitch only. It doesn't do zigzag, it doesn't do decorative stitches, it just does a straight stitch. But it's amazing what you can do with just a straight stitch. So as you'll see that again, the foot and the foot holder are integrated. It does not snap off. So this is why the HD9 has its own accessories. So you have to make sure that you get them from your Janome dealer to fit your machine. There we go. So let me quickly get this on. Again, there's always so much I want to do. So I think I'll have to take home this HD9 and I'll have to do more presentations on it. What do you think? I'm definitely all for taking it home. It is absolutely fabulous. So again, this Ultra Glide foot, if you're, again, tote bags, upholstery, anything, you know, I've got some vinyl here, so no problem. Now this is where I am going to go back and lengthen my stitch because I'm going to go through that dense vinyl. No problem at all. Boom. So again, look at that. Oh, I went so fast, my thread broke. So again, typically I would use, again, a thicker thread. I have the embroidery thread in here, polyester embroidery thread. Typically, if I'm using vinyl, I would use thicker thread. But yes, again, went through that vinyl like a hot knife through butter. Like, how perfect is that? So, especially with that Ultra Glide foot, that it goes on so smoothly. Now, there is a needle threader included in the machine as well, so that's a great thing. Again, it's always hard for me to demo on camera, so I won't. But yes, there is a needle threader included in this machine. So that just gives you some options, but I wanted to point out, oh yes, some other options, again, available from your Janome dealer, that we have things like this tulle embellishment holder. So when you've got all of your accessories for your machine, things like, again, we've got these HL times 5 needles. So again, they're slightly longer than traditional needles, and the times 5, they're very heavy duty, but they come in different sizes, just like all the other needles. So again, it says for DB hook models, HL times 5, so make sure that you get the correct needles to use with your HD9. There's a size 11, and here's a size 9. So if you're sewing, again, all those chiffons and very lightweight fabrics, and using that lighter weight thread, that you would go with a size 9, for example, will have a smaller eye than the size 11. We even have size 14 needles that'll be a little bigger to use, again, with those heavier threads. So this tulle kit from tulle embellishment holder is great to have. Again, it's got the Velcro in here, so you can put all your little tools. Everything stays handy at your machine. We've got a variety of feet. Now, this is why when I say straight stitch only, that, I think that sounds kind of limited. Oh no, there's so much you can do with this machine. Again, just with a straight stitch. The concealed zipper foot, and again, it says DB hook models. A concealed zipper foot. Now, I demonstrated the snap-on concealed zipper foot on the A to Z with Janome series in the Z or the Z episode, but so I showed you how to do a concealed zipper in that episode. And this foot works the same as the snap-on foot, that it's got the grooves there for the zipper to fit under. So that is fabulous. We also have, lovely, All About Crafts is here. Hello, hello. That is great. Sylvia, lovely. It's great to see you all. Thank you. Yes, we also have, this tiny little narrow straight stitch foot. Look at that, how adorable that is. So that is fabulous. Again, available from your Janome dealer. And we've got even an adjustable zipper foot. So isn't that cool? That attaches to the machine like that. So adjustable, the bar moves back and forth. So again, lots of options. So if you're a crafter, tote bag maker, garment sewer, you will love the HD9. And again, this tulle embellishment holder, again, all your screwdriver needles, everything can fit here. So this is perfect. You can take this off to the class, or again, if you don't have that dedicated sewing room, put all your tools here. That way everything for the machine stays together. Now, also very quickly, of course, my time, from your Janome dealer, I've showed these in the past just before Christmas, and I wanted to show them again, as we're getting into all those accessories, all those blister pack, that you can get these smart boxes. Now, this is one, which is very cool. And the cool thing about it, again, to keep all your tools together. So the smart box, look at all those goodies. So all your big, again, arrow quilt thread that you can use from Madeira, that you can use on your HD9, or again, the Iris polyester embroidery thread in the mini king spools. I use that a lot. Or again, even our Janome, again, polyester embroidery thread. If you're doing, again, quilting, yes, you can use regular, the Iris cotton quilting thread, but also consider maybe your polyester embroidery thread through your quilting sandwich, so then you can see a little bit more luster with those shinier threads. So all of that will fit your Janome scissors, or yes, how about your ruler foot, 1/4 of an inch ruler foot for, again, the DB rotary hook or oscillating hook models, this dedicated ruler foot. So again, I think I have to do another demo of the HD-9 BE doing ruler quilting. That's very popular, and yes, you can do it on your HD-9. So the cool thing about these smart boxes, though, is they can all click together. So one is good, but how about several? So they all click together. So there, you're off to a class, you're off to a retreat, or again, you don't have that dedicated sewing room. All your tools are kept in here. And the cool thing is you don't even have to take them all apart to open them. You just pivot the latch open and then there, or then pivot it off, and now I can take this and leave that stack. So you've got lots of flexibility with all the tools to, again, store for your HD-9 BE. And as usual, the time went by so fast, but look at that gorgeous machine now in stock at Janome Canada. So you can definitely double check with your dealer. And as always, go on to our janome.ca website for more information, and you can definitely be sure I will be doing more with this machine coming up because I just love it. And again, I personally owned the HD-9 when it first came out. I love the machine so much that I bought one, and then I've got one in the classroom here, and then now I've got this machine too, so there's definitely going to be more that we can do with it because it is such a versatile machine, and again, who doesn't love all that speed and all that strength? So I will flip around and say hello, and thank you so much for joining me today from my classroom at the Janome Sewing and Learning Center. Cheryl says, "Oh, it's very cold winter in Saskatoon." Yes. Oh, but the sun is shining. That's nice. It's kind of overcast here today. But again, another perfect day to stay inside and sew. So thank you everyone for joining me today. It's wonderful to connect with you all. I hope you have a very fabulous day, and I will see you all next week for another segment of Ask Janome HQ. Now, to go back and review, what did I cover before? As always, you can go on the Janome HQ IGTV icon on the Janome HQ Instagram page, and then go back to last week to see the Ask Janome HQ segment and listen to all what I covered there. To ask questions coming up, then you can always ask on our various Janome Canada or Janome HQ social media, any questions that you would like. I try to answer them live when I can. So next week, I'll try to answer some questions live as they come in. But then if not, again, I'll just answer them to another presentation. But I'm also loading those and all of these presentations on the Janome HQ YouTube channel. So then you can, there's a separate playlist of Ask Janome HQ, so you can go back and review them there too on YouTube. But just as a heads up, if you view all of these Instagram presentations on YouTube, the image is tall and skinny because Instagram wants you to view it on an iPad or iPhone. If you view it on the YouTube, again, the image will be tall and skinny because I can't rotate the camera, but you can still, again, listen to all the information and see the demos there. So any way to share the Janome love. So lovely. Oh yes, a lovely Stacy says, thank you, love Janome. Wonderful. Thank you. I love sharing the Janome love. So thank you everyone for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Bye.